just because.
What do you think about a $22 an hour minimum wage?
I think it would be awful. I think it would raise the price of everything. If McDonald's gave a raise to every single employee, Big Macs would cost $15 a piece.
They would cost maybe 2 or 3 cents more.
Oh,
what
no,
if that was true? Would you be
wouldn't.
willing to go along with it?
If it was only 2 or 3 cents more?
Correct.
I don't know. Why not give them $100 an hour?
Well, because we want to be reasonable. A $22 an hour minimum wage today is the same as it was back in 1960. If it was adjusted for inflation, it would be $22 an hour today. And throughout the world, in Denmark and in Australia, the minimum wage is over $20 an hour.
It is, but they have a different economy. You know, they have different growth. We have to go with our growth. We have to encourage investments, not minimum wage. I mean, the minimum wage is like 3% of the population is minimum wage. Like,
do you know 60% of Americans make less than $20 an hour? Did you know that?
They're failing. It's their fault.
Where's all the money going?
I'm failing.
You know, the American worker, over the last number of years, the American worker has become 70% more productive. All the while his wage has been going down because it's not adjusted to inflation.
I guess it depends. If it's not adjusted, I mean, I don't know.
How about we adjust it to inflation?
I guess we could if we figured out a way. I'm just for less government, less, you know, I'm not for minimum wage. I want to get rid of minimum wage altogether. I think it's up to the companies to decide how much they pay their employees.
But you know, the Koch brothers believe that companies only owe duties to their shareholders and not to their workers.
I don't know, man. Koch brothers donate a lot of money. They do a lot of good things. I mean, you guys like to criminalize the Koch brothers because they're rich and successful, and I'm not for punishing successful people. Like, I think everyone should thrive to be a billionaire. I think everyone should thrive to be a millionaire. When you like make them into villains, like, I don't know. I just think it's wrong. I don't like the way that people evilize these successful people for being successful.
All right, what if we raise the income tax to 70% over if you make over $5 million?
I think income tax is completely illegal, and not enough states even came together in the first place to, I mean, you can't even find it in a single law book that says you have to pay an income tax. They just take it.
Well, what do you think about our government? Do you think there's a place for a good, solid government in America?
I think so. For, you know, if we had a conservative government that, you know, cut down the welfare state, conservative government that encouraged the free market, and a smaller government that's, you know, kept their nose out of people's business, like, I'm for that.
Do you think, what about climate change?
Oh, I think it's total bullshit. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with climate change whatsoever. It's just a way so they can tax us, so we can give them money for some carbon tax. Like, it's garbage, man. I don't want to give any money that I don't have to give.
Why don't we have a debate? I'll tell you what. Let's go to somebody's house, and you go into the garage with the car running and shut the door. You stay there for 2 hours, and then come out and debate me about climate change and the poisonous gases that we're breathing.
I understand what you mean, and the greenhouse effect and everything. I get it, but
we live in a closed world, don't we? We live in a world like a house.
Atmosphere,
All we have is what we have here. If we use it all up, or we put it all in the atmosphere, sooner or later, we're going to die. Unless we become renewable and sustainable, all we have is in our house.
But us paying a carbon tax isn't going to fix anything. The government messes up everything they touch. I'm not going to rely on them to control how we live.
Well, I think what people are asking the government to do is set rules where people who pollute pay for that pollution. As it is right now, corporations pollute the air, but don't pay anything to clean it up. If they had
how do you clean it up?
Well, you try to stop it by finding alternative ways to manufacture things and making it a penalty that if you use this stuff that's poisoning everybody, you have to pay your way. As it is today, corporations and manufacturers pollute, but they don't pay any penalty. If they had to take the bad stuff they have and put it away correctly and store correctly the way we have to clean our messes up, it would clean the world up.
I think the government should control their messes before they start taxing people for their messes. The government has messes all over the place. They use climate control. It's like such a non-issue. I just hate even talking. It's like, get out of here with that. I mean, why don't you fix our debt? Why don't you fix the unemployment rate, the welfare state? I mean, it's just out of control. Our rights are being taken left and right. Like, I'm just sick of it, man. I'm sick of the government sticking their hands in my pocket, getting close to $1,000 taken out of my check every 2 weeks, having to pay insurance, and then seeing, homeboy on the left collect his welfare check every month,
Well, there are a few of us, a few people that probably game the system. But a lot of corporations get a whole lot of money from the government as well. But the government's for all of us, isn't it? I mean, it really is us. The people who work for the government is your friends, your neighbors, your family.
To protect me, to create protection, give me a safe place to live. I'll pay my taxes to live in my country. But I mean, the second they start putting regulations on everything, like controlling like the whole XM Sirius merger, like how they were, I mean, they're like Nazis, really. I mean, controlling whether two companies can merge together, like, I think they should keep their nose out of the private sector and stick to what they know as far as hospitals, schools, police.
Let's educate us.
Military.
Help educate us.
Our education is terrible. They're dumbing us down on purpose. I mean, the public school system is a joke.
Well, I propose that we pay teachers $200,000 a year and put as much resources as we can to give everybody the best education from birth until they're skilled and have a way to make it to the world. You agree with me on that one?
I agree.
You go along with that one?
I do agree.
Thank you.
Just because